Welcome back to the T&T Real Estate Podcast, where we spark conversations that set you up for real estate success. I'm Tyler.
And I'm Tanya, and each week we give you expert tips on navigating Northern Ontario's real estate market. But today we're going to do something a little bit different. Today we're going to be speaking to real estate agents. So whether you are a prospective agent currently doing your courses, or a new agent new in the business, or maybe even a seasoned professional, we're going to go through some tips to help you in 2025.
So Tanya has been in the business for over 15 years. I'm days away from my 10-year anniversary. And these are tips that we wish that we would have known when we first started real estate.
Absolutely. This time of year, we're getting into winter, so it's late November right now. And a lot of agents make the mistake of thinking that things are slowing down. Maybe I should just relax, put the brakes on things. But it's an opportunity for you to really work in your business and to work on your business for the next year. So 2025 is coming right around the corner, and we've got some tips for you to succeed in the new year.
So these are very important. Everybody should be doing these all year round, but things get busy. Families get busy, business gets busy in the spring and summer. You're out there working in your business instead of on your business. But it's really a good time right now to kind of pull back a little bit and make sure everything's ready for the year ahead. Yeah. So I will start with number one. This is something that I had not known even existed for probably the first 2 or 3 years of business. And this is working in your CRM. So I had no idea that a CRM existed.
What is a CRM?
What is it? It's a client relationship manager. And so basically it just logs all of the information from your clients, your spheres, your friends, your family, everybody that you talk to on a regular basis, or even if it's not a regular basis, everybody that you have talked to in your whole life basically should be in this. And this is kind of just like the quarterback for your emails, for your contacts. If you're doing text or direct mailers or anniversaries and birthdays, everything that you talk to, everything that you need on a regular basis or quarterly basis or yearly basis should be logged in here. And this is a really good opportunity, especially this time of year, to start logging that information. Take an hour, take 2 hours per day, and make sure everything is ready for 2025.
Yeah, absolutely. You probably have a ton of contacts, even just on your phone, that you haven't put into your CRM. I know I've been bad at that sometimes, not putting them into the CRM right away. But if you can take the time now to go through it and see maybe who you've missed along the way. One of the important milestones coming up is the holidays, right? A lot of people like to send out holiday cards to their past clients, their prospective clients. And if you have a list, that's great. But if you can put them in the CRM, you can also then track their birthdays. You can send them birthday cards. You can send them home anniversary cards as well when you track their closing date, for example. And it's a pretty big milestone, right? When you have a client who's been in their home for 5 years or 10 years, for you to recognize that with a card and just say like, hey, congratulations, we hope you still love your home. That's a really nice personal touch to let your clients know and your past clients that you're still thinking about them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's extremely important. I can't believe that I didn't know this sooner, obviously. I've been working on obviously for the last number of years and kind of tweaking it a little bit. But also another point that I didn't think of that just kind of came to my mind is most of the CRM companies have webinars on how to use the tools better. So I think that, especially this time of year, watch a webinar. So maybe you are using a CRM, but maybe you're not using it to the full potential. So learn about the CRM, whatever it is. And the coin saying is, the best CRM is the one that you actually use. So just watch a webinar, learn more about tinker with it inside the CRM, and figure out add something new that you didn't do last year.
Yeah, that's a really great point. Maybe learn one new thing about your CRM that you didn't know was capable of, the year prior. There's definitely a lot of options that we probably don't even know about. And automations, too, that you can use for your clients.
Yeah.
So that's great.
So what's next?
Point number 2, and this is mine, is to develop a very strong morning routine. So I think it's very, very important to start your day right. So start it on a proactive basis where you are controlling your day and not your day is controlling you. So to start with a very active morning routine, get up, whether it's, drinking your lemon water, your tea, or your coffee, whatever sort of grounds you. Me, it's coffee. Have your coffee, have your quiet time, and maybe do like a little reflection on what you want your day to be or look for. Maybe you have an intention for the day. Maybe this is a little too spiritual, kind of woo-woo, but maybe it's a practical thing. Maybe it's you want to have 5 conversations today. Maybe you have a goal of, just doing something new today, meeting someone new. I always like to start it with just kind of like a grounding intention. And exercise, move your body, do something, either you stretch or you sweat or you do something that makes you feel good and invigorated, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, just something to start off with a fresh morning and a fresh mindset, I think is very, very important.
And one thing, me especially, I'm going to work on this next year, is waking up, half an hour earlier and setting that. Because typically I'm waking up, I'm getting, kids ready, I'm getting them off to daycare, where it's a busy household. So I'm going to try and work on getting up, half an hour or an hour earlier and just have a little bit of time for myself, do my cold shower or something, and just get my body ready for the day.
It was always harder when my kids were little as well to sort of carve that time out for yourself. But I did find, just you wake up a little bit before they do and you just have your time to yourself. Maybe you get in a workout before they wake up. You'll just feel that much better. And definitely if you can do a cold plunge or have some kind of, invigorating routine, that would be awesome. I think you'll really,
Number 3, I'm going to say it bluntly, is get a hobby. But getting out there, and not real estate related. So don't go out for lunch or don't go for coffee with your fellow realtors an extra time per week. Maybe just, find yourself a hobby, whether it's, pottery or a book club or a sport or volleyball or badminton. Get out there, do something for yourself, whether it's active or not, or it stimulates your brain or your body. Get out there. Don't focus on real estate, just focus on doing something for yourself. But at the same time, you're going to be joining in with other people. You're going to be creating relationships. You're going to be talking to new people, and those people are all home buyers, right? So or homeowners, I should say. So get out there, meet new people, but also do it for yourself. Don't necessarily do it on I'm going out there to do this. Do something that you enjoy. Do something either active, body or mind, but just make sure you're getting out there. Do something new this year.
That is a fantastic tip, Tyler. And one of the things that I did a couple of years ago, actually, I joined a book club, and it was some people that I had already known as well, but it has expanded, my circle of contacts and friends as well. So that's been really great. But the first year that we did the book club, we actually did it. There was no fiction. So none of the, fun sort of
50 Shades.
Exactly. None of those romance books or anything like that. It was all sort of like personal development or any type of nonfiction. We had Negotiation Genius was actually one of them, which was really, really interesting to read. But one that really resonated with me was this one from Shonda Rhimes. It was The Year of Yes. And so if you're familiar with Shonda Rhimes or not, she is a big TV producer, a very successful woman in Hollywood, super amazing, real go-getter. And so she's also a little bit more likely to say no to things when she's invited to speak or invited to events. And I think it was a challenge that her sister had done to her and said, like, this year, why don't you just say yes to everything? Just say yes, get out more, do more, be seen more, become a bit more, develop a better relationship with your family and whatnot. So she had this challenge to herself where she did a year of yes. She said yes to everything that came her way. And being a very successful and busy woman, she probably easily could have said no and declined some invitations. But what it did was it stretched her boundaries, put her in more uncomfortable situations where she had to grow and learn and really benefited herself from it. So that was one of our sort of personal development books. And I think that's an important, thing for us to think of as human beings as people in the business of relationships and learning and growing and meeting people, one of the best ways to do that is to kind of stretch yourself and get outside your comfort zone and do things you might not otherwise do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely. I think it's huge.
Yeah.
A counterpoint to that is the realtors, especially because we're mostly people pleasers, are always saying yes. So just going back to creating a morning routine, you look at your phone first thing in the morning at 7:30 or 6 o'clock and you see a text message. It's all right to not answer that at 6 a.m. to be doing something for yourself and answer that at, business hours, 8:30 or 8 or 9 even. So I think it's obviously very important to say yes, but it's also okay to say no sometimes as well.
Yeah. And one of the things you can do with that point is to kind of set a focus time as well on your phone.
Yeah.
If you have certain times where you're going to be focusing on if it's your morning routine, or if you're doing something with your family, that's very important. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb, and you can get those messages after the fact, right? After business hours, we don't need to be so reactive so quickly that it then takes away from your personal lives. Yeah, sure. We have a tendency to say yes and to jump at every opportunity, but sometimes it's good to sort of just take a bit of time for yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what's next on our list?
We have number 4. We got becoming social on social media. Instead of doing the death scroll and just going for hours and hours and hours, getting a little bit more proactive, I guess, on social media. There's all sorts of different strategies on how to do this, and it is kind of easy, especially when you think they're so simple. I think of the easiest one, which is the 5-5-5 rule. It's 5 likes every day, 5 comments every day, 5 DMs every day, and you don't have to do it. You could make it a 4-4-4 or 5-5-2, whatever it is. But make sure you are being social on social media. Start the conversations, become a part of the community that's on social media. But on top of this is what I really wanted to say, which was content is king. So make sure you are not just taking in the content, but you're also creating the content. Take an hour out of your day or half an hour out of your day to do some sort of comment, whether that's a post, educational or otherwise. Create a reel. When you're getting your listings, when you're working with your buyers, make sure you're documenting the process. And it's more than just, here's a house that I sold, I'm so great, or here's a house that I helped somebody buy, I'm so fantastic. Share the story of how you got to this point of life. I think that's what the viewers are looking for. They're looking for more than just, yes, I sold 50 houses this year.
People want to know who you are.
Absolutely.
As an agent. They want to know that you're a dad, that you're into whatever hobbies you're into, and they want to know the story behind, like you said, the listing or the buyer consultation and what happened with that client that you helped.
Yeah.
It's not just about, the successes, but getting to know who you are, what your values are as well, and how you work. So I love those personal posts, the behind the scenes posts, right? Yeah. Like all that goes into getting things ready for your clients. All the behind the scenes stuff, I think, is what people are looking for. Yeah.
And make sure you're looking at the algorithms, or there's so many people on YouTube that will share what the algorithms are. So YouTube, they're looking for longer videos right now. So create a longer video, just talk in front of a camera like we are kind of right now, and then cut this up into pieces and put it on TikTok and Instagram and then Facebook. People are just looking to get to know who you are as a person. So just create a post. This is what we're doing on a daily basis. This is what we're doing this week. This is what we're doing on the weekend. And people just really want to know who you are as a person and not necessarily how many houses you sell. And I just sold 5 this week or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's a really great point. And it kind of brings us to our next point as well, which is focusing on your personal branding.
Yeah.
So focusing on your personal branding can be your branding and how you're perceived online. So it could be something as simple as investing in professional photos that show you in your, work type situations and sort of life situations.
You mean the 70s mugshot doesn't work anymore?
No, the 70s mugshot does not work anymore. You have to update your photo at least every couple of years, but you should do it every year. And it's nice if you can just get some photos of yourself doing everyday life. So they call it like a lifestyle shoot, right? So just regular things that you're doing every day and how you spend your day. If you have a dog or a cat and you're, you know, a lot of your life revolves around like your animals or your kids. I mean, maybe people don't want to put their kids in videos, that's fine.
Yeah.
But, you know, show who you are personally to the world and to your clients. So that's really nice. But part of that personal branding as well is, what is your unique value proposition? So what do you do as an agent, as a professional, as a consultant to your clients? What is the value that you deliver to them? And everybody's a little different in terms of who their target client is, right? Who their ideal client is, what their market is necessarily, whether they're working with investors or first-time home buyers, for example. So really hone in on who you are, what's your value proposition, and then develop that sort of look, that brand that fits with who you are, and get that out there. So now is a good time. If you have the time, you know, it's a little bit quieter in the market, or it's coming up to that point anyway where it's going to be a little quieter. Take the time to develop your brand and tell the world really who you are.
Absolutely. I think that's huge. We did that. We did a full kind of rebranding, both of us, this year. So we have, you know, our colors and what we do differently than other realtors. And I think it's extremely important. This is what we're teaching our agents to do as well at Sutton. So I think it's hugely important. Now, a bonus tip, those were our 5, but I think this one is very important and should not be forgotten, is creating a business plan. And Tanya harps on our agents daily to, you know, come meet with us, come, you know, talk to us, or if you want to do it by yourself, we have, you know, a couple different plans that you can go through. We have 23-page plans, we got 5-page plans, and it really depends how in-depth you want to be. But whether it's a 1-page or 23 pages, you need to have a plan for 2025.
Yes, because what failing to plan is
a plan to fail.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just to be able to review that, even like on a weekly, you know what, do it on a quarterly basis. Just say, okay, this is what my quarterly goal is. Whether it's, you know, to post on social media, whether it's to have this many conversations, whether it's to spend this many hours in the CRM or powers of hour or whatever it is, make sure you have a plan so you can go back and say, you know, I did this, I didn't do enough, or maybe I did more than I planned on doing, which is fantastic. But if you can break it down to, these are how many conversations you need to have to make one sale. So if you want to make 15 sales next year, these are the amount of conversations you can have. And that can be broken down with these business plans. But just going back, making sure that you have a plan that you review on a weekly, monthly, quarterly basis is one of the most important tips I think that we can share. And for agents out there that are listening that don't know, reach out to us. We have multiple plans and we will get you the right plan that you are looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a really good point too with business planning. Some agents I find don't necessarily, they get a little daunted with saying, I want to make X amount of dollars, right? It's, you know, we put this sort of like stigma on making money, success. What does that mean to you? But it's not always about the numbers and the dollar value. Personal success is different for everybody, right? Absolutely. So part of our plan is having you decide, what is your vision? What is your vision for the future? Where do you see yourself in 10 years, 5 years, and 1 year? What do you want to accomplish? Where are you going to be in life? How old are your kids going to be? How is your life going to change in 5 years, 10 years? Your life changes a lot. It changes really quickly. But it's really nice to have that vision ahead of time and develop what is the plan that suits your goals. Because it's not always about making X amount of dollars, right? It's about finding the life and the lifestyle that works for you, your family, your clients, and how you want to succeed. You know, I've been doing real estate coaching with my coach for, I think, over 4 years now. And one of the tasks that I used to find most daunting was doing the quarterly review. You know, it's a little scary to go back and say, like, did I reach my goals? You know, did I stretch myself far enough in terms of, you know, establishing those goals in the first place? But one of the most valuable questions they ask when you do your quarterly review is, what did you do too much of? What did you not do enough of? And what are you wanting to change for the next quarter? So often it's interesting when I go back and review a lot of those things, it's like a lot of those things can be eliminated, or they could be automated, or they could be delegated, right? We don't need to do all of the things that we do sometimes. And it's really nice to have somebody, a little bit of accountability there to help you reflect on where you were last quarter and what you can do better the next quarter.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I
think that's huge.
Important.
Yeah,
awesome.
For sure. Which is why we harp on our agents to do it.
Do it. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning into the TNT podcast. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please don't forget to subscribe, leave us a comment below, and we will catch you next time on the next episode. So until then, stay ahead in real estate.
Bye.